So University College Cork has a talented student programme called Quercus. The purpose of this programme is to let students grow. The students may come from outside the university after leaving cert, or may actually come from within the university. It's organised into different domains. So a student might be very talented in one domain and perhaps in a second domain. So they might be very strong in academic, might be very good at active citizenship, they may be a good creative performing arts candidate, or sports, or innovation entrepreneurship. And the notion is that we want to grow these students in the university, or perhaps even some students existing in the university right now, we want to grow them even more.
The Quercus Talented Students Programme is very beneficial to the student in the sense that you get on-campus accommodation, you also get a bursary which you can use towards your school, and it also gives you the type of mentorship you need to focus on school yet be able to do the kind of extracurricular activities that has brought you this scholarship. So from an active citizenship mentor who will guide you and mentor you throughout your process as a scholar, and also an academic mentor who will keep you on track and give you the type of feedback you need to know that what you're doing is right and that you're not alone in this whole process, because it can be overwhelming when you have to deal with two different aspects of your life. And I think to me, more than all of that put together is the type of atmosphere you get when you're with the other scholars. So it's a very diverse mosaic of kids who have different expertise and talents ranging from sports to academia to active citizenship like Alan and I. And it's kind of like a family on campus, and then we have Michelle who just brings that all together.
I first heard about the Quercus Scholarship when I was reading an article in the Evening Echo. I read about it and I thought it sounded interesting about helping students balance sport and academics in university, and so I put a bit more thought into it and I searched it online, and I filled out the application for it, and thankfully I've been successful this year. Well, personally, I'd love to be able to call myself an Olympian, and as part of the UCC Quercus Scholarship, it will help me to achieve that. In that, I'm currently in my final year of maths science, so when I finish this, I'm hoping to go full time. Definitely would be nice to get a few more international medals.
My personal goal in hurling is to perform at the highest level possible for as long as I can and win everything I can in the game. The support for hurlers in UCC here is great. You have men such as John Granger, head of GA. He would do anything for you. You have men like Declan Kidney behind the scenes. He's been there, done it all. He knows what he's doing, and he's big help as well.
Yeah, one of the big benefits for me that I only realised recently is that Quercus opens doors for you. It kind of gives you, let me think, how would I say this? It gives you opportunities that you normally wouldn't get at undergraduate level. It means you can apply for things that normally you wouldn't even have a chance of getting, and with one phone call it kind of gives you that extra push and can kind of help that extra step in your achievements. I don't know, it gives you that extra little boost, I think, for me anyway.
There's kind of a domino effect to it, really. I mean, you do well in your exams, you get this Quercus scholarship, and then you get all the placements that are associated with the college. You have something you can put on your CV that you can, for future placements, for future, job offers and things like that.
Almost
so
fast tracks you.
Yeah, so kind of one thing leads to another. So you've just worked really hard for this one thing, but then you get the scholarship, and then you get all the placements that are associated with it. You get, it does open up a lot.
My personal sporting goal would be to get to Olympics with the Irish senior men's team. I had to move away from home, so a few adjustments made regarding leaving Mammy's dinners and so whatnot. But Cork's fantastic. People are lovely, real genuine, so I'm settling in really well. I suppose the two massive benefits of the Quercus would be the fees paid and the accommodation. Coming from outside Cork, it was a massive help there. Takes a lot of pressure off the parents, and even personally, time that I would be working, having a part-time job, I can now train because of the bursary and the fees paid.
My personal goal would be to definitely be an Olympian and then hopefully medal at one of the Olympics. I'm living in Victoria Lodge, which is really close to the Mardyke, so it's really easy to go train in the morning or in between lectures or after lectures, and definitely the bursary helps relieving the pressure off my parents.
You get in touch with other people from different strands. Because I'm only studying arts, I'm only in this art world with all these arts people, but I actually never get in touch with someone who does sports, for example. And I think it's really cool that the Quercus scholars are also a community, and that you can exchange about how you pursue goals, I'd say, more than specific your area. But I think it's really enriching to be part of a community where you can be in touch with entrepreneurs, and you can be in touch with people who do drawings, or people who run races, and yeah, there's a big exchange going on.
One of the benefits of being Quercus Scholar is the mentorship programme that Michelle Parr puts in place for us. So not only do we have a mentor for our own college if we have issues with our degree that we might need further help in certain subjects, but we also have a mentor who can develop skills or help us in any area that we need with our business, which is really helpful for us.
It's great for networking and all that as well, so you meet a lot of important people who could be really important for you going forward.
I don't think as a first year I would have had the same opportunities without the Quercus programme.
Coming from someone who has a very diverse range of interests in music and the type of music I listen to, play and compose, it's all appreciated and it's all valid, and I think that it's so important that you're not afraid to express that and be proud of it.
Each student applies to the Quercus programme by application, which is typically in January. These are then shortlisted by an external panel, and we're really lucky to have some really good people helping us with that. Theo Dorgan, the poet, Fergus Finlay of Bernardo's, Marie Cahalan from the BT Young Scientists, and Paul McDermott of the Irish Sports Council, all of which bring their expertise and their external perspective to each of the interviews in their domain, which we value enormously. And they also give us credibility for the programme and taking the messages out, so they're our ambassadors in the bigger world as well as the students themselves.
Yeah, I felt it out sending it out thinking another person in my course had gotten an invitation, and that fella had gotten the highest result in the Leaving Cert in maths the year before, so I was a bit shocked even getting the invitation. Then sending it off, a month passed, I kind of assumed, oh, given the calibre of people I was against, it was not a chance I had gotten it. So when that phone call came, I was a bit shocked.
I didn't think that I'd get the scholarship, the full one anyway, because I'm in such a big college within the university that there's huge numbers, and I suppose I was lucky enough to come out on top of that, and I was happy to take the phone call then when I got offered it.
I think we all were.
So the student applications can come from two places. They can come from within the university, or they can come from students that are in Leaving Cert. So in order to avoid any disruption to Leaving Cert students, because these interviews are typically held in April or May, we don't have any communication until after the Leaving Cert is completed. And then we will make an offer to the student, should they succeed in their examinations, and they will be admitted into University College Cork. If they're an existing student, then they're already here, and then we invite them into the programme, and then they have a fantastic induction day at the beginning of September, where they meet the outgoing cohort or the previous cohort, together with having a whole series of activities. And that's really exciting when they come together for the first time. So each individual person with an international talent suddenly meets others and their peers, and that's really exciting.
We had a Quercus induction day just last month, and it was a great day. We met all the other Quercus scholars, and it was just crazy to see how everybody had a diverse range of talents, and I was just so amazed at what people have been putting their time into. At the end of the day, we saw all the brilliant musicians put together something in just a matter of hours, which is something I just don't even know how you'd go about that. So it was amazing that, you know, some of them hadn't even met each other before, but by the end of the day, they put on a brilliant performance. So it's great.
So the first time I was here doing orientation last year, we were given this booklet, and it had just 3 facts about UCC, which really made me kind of be enthralled by the school. And one was that UCC allowed women to study medicine 20 years before Oxford. I thought that was very progressive and it just sealed the deal for me. Secondly, because it's a very green campus and we have a green flag at the quad, which says that we're like the first green campus in the world, which I thought was great because it's a student-led initiative. So there's a lot of active citizenship per se in the student body as well. And thirdly, because it's just a place where, like, its slogan is great minds don't think alike. So it's a tradition of independent thinking, which I think is very important even when you pursue goals out of school. So that's why I think that UCC was the right match for me.
So the university will also expect these students to be role models. So to stand out in society, providing leadership. So someone will point and say, that's a Quercus student. In the future, we will see them, they will be grown in the university as well as growing themselves.
When you're selfless, it's when you realise that so much other things are important than to be just worrying about yourself or worrying about what you're going to do today. But it's more important, I think, to just look at the bigger picture and to try to get other people to have a good day rather than yourself.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's that Lion King quote that I really try to live by, which is never take more than you give in the circle of life. And I think that with the UCC Quercus Active Citizenship Scholarship, it's empowering us to do exactly that and telling us that that is the way forward in terms of creating opportunities for other people and leading the way in that regard. And I think it's interesting because as far as I know, it's the first scholarship globally given by a university to highlight active citizenship. So it kind of inspires other young kids who are coming into university to keep doing the kind of work they do in their communities and not to think that it's any less than any of the other types of extracurricular activities you can be part of. So I think that's very important.
Yeah, because when you come here to University College Cork as an active citizenship scholar, you get so much support and you feel that you're being recognised and that people are appreciating what you're doing. So I think that without such a unique Quercus scholarship programme, a lot of people might be quiet and just in the background, and maybe a lot of really important initiatives like Food Beyond Borders, maybe they wouldn't even start or keep going, you know?
Like, we're competing with a lot of really smart people, and I don't think it's your intelligence that puts you over at this level. I think it's your hard work. You know, I think it's being willing to kind of go to the library that little bit earlier, kind of being willing to settle down. And part of that, I think, what makes that easier is having an interest in doing what you're doing. Because I see a lot of people in courses that the main thing that stops them from achieving is they're not interested in it. They don't really like it. But for me, I love it. I find it amazingly interesting. I know it's not fun sitting there in the library for hours, but I find what I'm doing interesting. I find kind of future prospects of how I'll be able to use it amazing. So I find the interest is what drives me and pushes me and allows me to kind of push myself that extra little bit.
My first impression of UCC would be that it has a nice combination of old and new. You have the quad is such an iconic UCC image, but then you move around to the O'Reilly building and it's completely different. It's really versatile. I love it.
The facilities down here in the Marlek are fantastic. The squad gym, which we're in every Monday and Wednesday, we're in there with Jeff Gomez. And it's grand just to get in, just be with your teammates, you know. You have your own space, you're not waiting on machines. Yeah, no, it's good to get in and get your workout done as a team.
I suppose if I had any advice for maybe future applicants to the Quercus programme, it would be to just, irrespective of what your field is or what you believe is important, just to be completely convicted in your own belief of your art or your sport or your creative output, because they're all so valid and they're all so thoroughly appreciated here at UCC, as I found through my fantastic 2.5 years that I've spent here.
You can be doing any course and still have a great time here in what you're interested in.
The advice I'd give to future Quercus applicants would be to get your application in early, and then when you're doing out your personal statement, make sure to sell yourself and don't sell yourself short. Make sure you include everything and get your references sorted. And if you get past the first stage, you'll have to come and do a performance and an interview. And it really isn't too scary. They're very nice. So.
For anyone considering applying for the Quercus programme, I would say just go for it. You never know what'll happen.